Anyway, how many of you know Roger Bannister? In 1954, it was assumed that nobody could run a mile in 4 minutes. Yeah, Olympic gold. And so he won it in 3.58 seconds, less than 4 minutes. And the whole world, United States, everybody, his picture was on every cabin, what looks like cabin biscuits. I mean, so all the children, and he was a medical doctor. He wasn't even somebody that is a professional athlete. It's just something that maybe he was doing all along as he trained as a doctor. But even when he was asked, he said he still doesn't feel that he was a great athlete. He was more concerned about medicine and all of that. So what do you think made him to... Is it because he had it? Because the theory was that you need to have a special kind of heart to be... I mean, your heart has to... I mean, it's only a cheetah that can survive that. That your heart will blow if you ever try it. So do you think he had a special kind of heart? What do you think made him to be able to break that jinx? Motivation. Determined motivation. But even more importantly is that few years down the line, more than 200 children, school children also did this. Not professional, not Olympic athletes, just normal, everyday boys. What do you think happened to them? Would you say they had special heart also? Or they had determination? Some of them probably didn't even hear about this story. I mean, story of that theory. That some people struggled with that. So I'll just mention that believe is, you need to believe. It's the amount of belief. It's not about potential. We emphasize potential a lot, but your belief will determine how much of your potential you want to use. If your potential is so massive, but your belief is small, it will still not go far. So it's very important that it's the amount of belief that you have in your potential that will determine the amount of action that you take. And it's action that determines results in life. Massive actions. So when you have great results, what happens again is that your belief rises again. I mean, if I could do this, then I will be able to do more. And that means the amount of belief you have again, if it rises, will be what you deploy into your potential. Then, if you believe your potential is this much, it will influence the amount of action you're able to take again. Then you get results. So it's always very important that you believe in yourself. I mean, whatever it will take, make sure you interact with people who believe in you, run away. I mean, almost everybody that I spoke with in that all will require that. Many of human beings suffer from self-doubt. We doubt ourselves, particularly those of you that I spoke with. Almost every one of you have that challenge in your personality, self-doubt. And what increases self-doubt is the kind of things you listen to, the kind of people you listen to. And so make sure you're around people who always make you believe that you are larger than life, that you can do much more, that can make you say, oh, you can write. No people that say, yeah, you're writing. Run away, even with your mother, run away from her. Run away from her. Oh, you're drawing. Mommy, how is my drawing? I'm talking about even kids. They should run away from such. Because if you don't believe in your potential, you won't take action. And it's action. There's no alternative. This one is even the most... You can't become anything if you don't take massive actions. So, and this is what affects it. It's okay. So, I don't know. Let me just mention a couple of things. We can't go through all of this. But let me just mention this. For those of you who are probably looking for work, I want to let you know that I consult for quite a number of organizations. They are looking for people. They are looking for people. I mean, I remember this last year, we were looking for one particular role. And even for this company, I remember, before this kind of powerful structure that we have in this place now. We used to go to newspapers. I remember me and Kola would be looking for, I remember for HR. Hey! We almost died. We couldn't get people. Organizations are looking for for people. But if you don't understand yourself and know what your potentials are, unfortunately, we don't have all the time. But let me show you just one, because many of you belong here, and I'll wrap up. And I'll just show you a kind of job. I promised I was going to show them. So for instance, a lot of you that I saw was this. So these are the kind of jobs that if you are passionate about, for instance, for this category of people, that you will be successful at. I mean, some of you may even have to change your career. Maybe you studied something. You need to, because who you are is stronger than whatever you studied in school. You need to begin to develop yourself in the area that you have potential. And the interesting thing, about in the area that you have potential is that you don't need a degree. And that's the truth. What I'm doing today, I've never been under anybody who taught me what I'm doing today. Never. So, and by the time I was doing this, I already had a master's. So I was thinking, so all these first degree masters, maybe I wouldn't even need it. If you tap into who you are, you don't need special schools. That's the truth. Many of you that are profiled, if you go into any of this, thank God for YouTube, you can develop yourself. Some of you read engineering. I was telling Lamide when I saw them doing HR, and they said everybody that was in that class, many of them they never read anything HR, or they're not working any HR role. I said the reason is that many times people you find yourself studying engineering, but you have a lot of emotions and love for people. So many of them will now find themselves back in psychology, emotional intelligence, HR, but they read engineering. So why was engineering not able to change who they are, and they are now thinking like machines? So who you are is very strong. I encourage you, find who you are, develop yourself in it. Don't try to imitate other people. Find roles that play to that. For instance, if this person wants to be an engineer, read engineering is looking for a core engineering job. Yeah, I may do well in it, but you are in somebody else's lane. You can't compare yourself to if this person who studied, let me look for, this person, if you are competing with somebody like this, the person will beat you. Look at it. Did you see anything like programmer in that order? But see, these people are naturally wired for this because of the way they think. So if you join them in a competition, they will just say, even though you have first class in engineering, what kind of engineer are you? You are not. You're always thinking of how to help people. You are always, why? But somebody who is a core engineer doesn't have time for such things. He goes and gets things done, interacts with equations, and come up with amazing results in these areas. So you see that you don't see a lot of human. Did you see anything human so much around this person? If you make this person head of HR, there will be a problem. Because he doesn't have HR inside him or her. So it's very critical. So we don't have the time. I thought we'd be able to profile everybody, help everybody, but there's no time. So, but let the journey continue. Go on the internet, find more about yourself, try to discover yourself, make sure that you deploy all your arsenals in that area. It's not good to just, if you move in a different direction, you won't get enough supply to back it so that you can become greater. Professor Buckingham, father of positive psychology, said, people don't change that much. So don't waste your time trying to bring out what is left out. Try to bring out what is left inside, because that is hard work. To even bring out people's potential is hard work, let alone trying to, force them to do what they don't have on the inside of them. Thank you very much.